Julian Edelman finished wide receiver 7 last year, 100 receptions, 153 targets, had 26% target share, 1,117 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Your thoughts around Julian Edelman?
Julian Edelman is a great safety net security blanket. He catches, the balls that are thrown at him. So I'm a little curious how quickly that rapport gets developed with Cam, but if you're going to have a piece of this Patriots offense that isn't Cam Newton, Julian Edelman's probably the guy you're going to look at.
Yeah, I think Edelman he checks a lot of the boxes to make it safe for Cam. When we did these wide receiver rankings initially, and we'll go through them here in a little bit, I had Edelman further down the board than where I think he is now because of the Cam signing. So, again, something that can reevaluate and look at moving up here a little bit. But I see Edelman kind of in that mid to back end wide receiver 2 territory. Before I had him outside of that and in wide receiver 3 territory. So I do think Cam gives him an uptick. The thing that scares me about Cam Newton, guys, and again, we'll talk to this more when we get to him, but Edelman specifically is he's like a water bug, right? He's short to intermediate routes. He's a tough guy. He'll fight for those extra yards, but he's not a big-bodied, tall receiver. And when Cam Newton gets hurried and Cam Newton gets flustered, we've seen this time and time and time again. What's he do? He throws high. And then he tries to overcorrect, and then he starts dirting balls and throwing them 3 yards short. So that's what worries me about Edelman. I think that his target share could be roughly the same, around that 26%. I don't know that anybody's going to take a whole bunch of that away necessarily, but it's the efficiency that comes with that target value I think is going to take a slight dip because you don't have Tom Brady throwing you the football. You have a quarterback who's a little bit less accurate. He takes a few more gambles and tries to fight things or fit things in a little bit more so than what Brady did and kind of taking the check down in the safe route.
Julian Edelman being that shorter guy that works out of that slot, I could see him benefiting from Cam really liking some of those dump off check down type of passes when he's got to do that, simply from the standpoint that was how Greg Olsen made a lot of his hay down there in Carolina, was that kind of connection that he had with Cam, and that just being able to be that guy that he could hit and move and keep the ball moving. So I could see some of that happen. Now, I actually had Julian a little bit higher than everybody else. I had him ranked 23 before the Cam signing, and I don't know that I'm necessarily going to change that much. It may go up 1 or 2 when we re-examine these things, but I think that's probably going to be pretty accurate to where he's going to finish is in that back end wide receiver 2.
Yeah, I have Julian Edelman finishing. I have him at 34, and I'm the lowest of you guys, of us. And I could be talked into moving him up, but I'm pretty comfortable with him there at 34.